Oh gosh, there's no sound. What in the world? I didn't realize that that was muted. You guys couldn't even hear the music playing that whole time with the commercials and the ads there. My bad, chat. I don't know why those were muted. That's interesting. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to get ready here this afternoon as it is time for the HCK Beagles. They are back on track. They are ready to roll here once again this afternoon. As they jump out onto the racetrack, they get ready to rock and roll here from the World Center of Racing. It is Daytona International Speedway for our season opener here with the HCK Beagles in the I Love My Wife 65, presented by Jason LaPan. There we go, there we go. I appreciate that for the heads up there. Tower operator Mr. Muehlberger coming in, showing the love here in this one. He's dead, also coming in, giving us the heads up there, giving us the love as Shauna coming in with the Winker Nation, and Tower operator with the hashtag Winker Nation as well. Cream of Yeet says, W Josh. Which Josh you talking about here this evening, Cream of Yeet? There's a lot of them in attendance, says Brandon Noah, also with the hashtag Winker Nation here this evening. As we'll get them ready to rock and roll, we'll get ready to rumble here this evening. A lot of drivers, a lot of fast cats, each and every one of them looking to try to put themselves up and into victory lane as they get rolling out and onto the speedway. And starting on the pole in the number 12, that is Brandon Eastman. Eastman will start there in the top spot. It will be the 77 ride of Brandon Domingue to his outside. Then we see the 51 ride, Brian Chu, rolling out there in third. He's got that 3 ride of Mark Beverly to his outside. Starting in position number 5, it is Winker Nation. That is the 42 ride, the Muehlberger Custom Homes Machine of Kevin Winker, who will start there in 5th. You'll have Nathaniel Ostrowiecki there to his outside in that 6th position. Then we see one of those beautiful dirt track junkies rides, a pair of them here in that 4th row. Josh Ely and Joshua Ledoux, they're in 7th and 8th with last season's champion back in row number 10. Brett Summers there in 9th, and Nicholas Snyder, last season's champion, back in that 10th position as we see Haas Beverly, Zach Michael, Robert Howard, Matt Langley, Tyson Pankow, our boy Pankow out there on the racetrack with Neil Lapidus, Frank Ranger Jr., Austin Gustafson, Cal Turberville there in position number 19 with Chris Gilbert, Jacob Grube, Bobby Blair back there in the 22nd position. That's the Ridge Power Sports KR Gutter 75 right there in 22nd, and Jason LaPan himself in the I Love My Wife number 25 ride, the Tech Warriors machine, back there in 23rd. Brian Lane, Josh Peacock, Ed Koshersberger back there in position number 6. Koshersberger there in that 26th position. Jeremy Lucy, Kevin Woody, Ryan Peterson, Tim Beckler, Kyle Van Tassel, Stephen Hines, Robert McDonald, Derek Rowdy Puckett, John Herbert bringing up the rear of the field as we are quickly green flag racing here at Daytona International Speedway. It is that 12 rider Brandon Eastman who leads us down into corner number 1, nice and easy down and out of corner number 2. As these trucks start to build up that speed, they start to build up that momentum down the back straightaway. We do see Nicholas Snyder. He's going to jump down onto the apron, maybe trying to play it a little bit more safe here early on in this race, jumping a little deeper in the field, trying to make sure that he can kind of be in a good position, not falling straight to the back, but kind of midfield as the Pop Smoke number 18 ride right there onto his back bumper. That is Jacob Grube, who's back in the 20th position as out in front. Brandon Eastman getting a great shove here from Brian Chu, and Chu will push Eastman into that top spot here as he will lead the first lap of the season. The first lap of the season going to that 12 rider, Brandon Eastman. I'm sure we're going to see this 12 machine out in front and leading a lot of laps as we see that inside lane continue to move. Now we start to see some more shuffling, more drivers making some moves here as Brett Summers in that Boston Web Marketing number 7 ride quickly up and into position number 4, and now looking for more as he slides to the outside lane in front of Kevin Winker and K-Dub. Going to give him a shove down here through 3 and 4. They're looking to try to race their way to the front of the field as the car to his inside. That's Joshua Ledoux. Ledoux quickly working himself up a few spots here as well on his hunt to get to the front of the pack. Robert Howard trying to make some moves in the 50 ride as he's kind of right in the middle there of a pair of the dirt track junkies. Rides out there on the speedway. As Richard, what's good, Richard? Richard says, yo, Peacemaker, what's good, baby? How are ya? He says, let's go, Jay LaPan. Cheer it on. Jay out there on the speedway is Michelle Eastman. Says, go Eastman, number 12. Cheer it on, our race leader here this afternoon. He's dead 103. Says, good pronunciation on which name? Which name? Now, I normally mess a lot of them up, so I'm glad to hear that I got something right on the afternoon when it comes to one of the names, especially for some of the new drivers, even some of the old drivers that are out there on the speedway. Always trying to make sure we get those last names right. As Janelle says, let's go Team HP Motorsports. Hashtag Ridge Power Sports and KR Gutters. Cheering on all the boys here. Steve Hines says, let's go 24. Cheering on that 24 line. Blanken Beckler. Okay, Blanken Beckler out there on the speedway. I'm glad I got that right. Okay, perfect. As Kevin Reese says, let's go HP Motorsports as well, cheering on the Ridge Power Sports and the KR Gunner rides. Jonathan Herbert and the team alike is still out in front. Things are, too wide. We're still seeing everybody kind of right there together. We haven't really seen that third line come into play. Things are looking a little bit more calm, and that inside lane still working very well together. Brian Chu, I swear that 51 ride, he's got to be running hot out there on the racetrack. He's been on the back bumper of that 12 ride, pushing him heavily here for quite a little while. We haven't really seen him jump out of line, try to get some air onto the nose of that 51 machine, and potentially could start to see that car overheat as he's going to be looking to try to get some clean air into that car, trying to cool it down a little bit there. You see him poke his nose a little bit to the outside of that 12 ride, trying to get that little bit of an air dump there down into quarter number 3. As to his outside, that is that 7 rider, Brett Summers, as Summers continues to battle there, trying to race his way up to the race lead. K-Dub, Kevin Winker still right there on his back bumper. It's the top 15, top 16 drivers out there on the racetrack, still pretty much side by side out there on the speedway, putting on a great show up here at the front of the field. And a little farther back, you start to see them get a little bit more single file out there on the speedway. It starts with that 71 ride, the Spotify machine of Austin Gustafson, now getting that number 61 of Josh Peacock to his outside, as Peacock actually rolled the 88 ride in the Dirt Track Junkies 88 machine that JP designed. Number 88 rolls there in position number 19. That's where we see last season's champion, this fine ride back there in position number 20, Nicholas Snyder, who started up inside the top 10 in that 10th position, quickly on the opening lap, got down to the apron, moved down out of the way. Now just trying to play it a little bit safer here, a little bit farther back, just outside of that lead group, not wanting to jump into that fight, as there's a lot of drivers, a lot of cars out there on the racetrack, in one simple wrong move out there on the speedway could create the big one in that 5 ride. He's trying to avoid being tied up and caught up in that big wreck. That could start at the front of the field, could start back there behind him, could start right to his outside, as Derek Rowdy Puckett getting a good shove to his outside. That's the 24 ride of Stephen Hines. Hines right there on his back bumper, pushing that 8 ride up inside the top 20. As Robert McDonald right there as well, the Frets for Pets number 31 ride, trying to race his way up towards the front of the field here as well. He works to the outside of that 8 ride of Derek Rowdy Puckett, now into that 20th position, as we do see the juke joint ride down onto the apron right there. Keep himself out of trouble trying to keep that car pointed in the right direction down onto the apron there, and unfortunately losing quite a few positions as you see that 10 machine. Tim Blankenbeckler back there in position number 22. That beautiful orange ride as we see another driver down onto the apron, just trying to stay down and out of the way, not trying to ruin anyone else's day here as we see a lot of these cats just continuing to kind of roll back there. And unfortunately for Jonathan Herbert, no early caution flag here for this 87 ride. And unfortunately for Herbert, he missed the start of this race. Started down pit side and unfortunately had to roll down pit lane as everyone else on the racetrack was already building up that speed and heading down through our Geico restart zone across the line there. He was just pulling out of his pit stall, and unfortunately when you do that, you lose the draft out there on the speedway. So he starts without being in that lead pack. He has no dancing partners, no help, no friends here with that 87 ride as the Ridge Power Sports KR Gutters number 87 of Jonathan Herbert rolls up to the rear of the field here. And he already finds himself potentially in danger of being the first driver a lap down here this evening, as there's our race leaders. They're about half a straightaway away from potentially putting Jonathan a lap down out there on the speedway. As here we go, K-Dub Kevin Winker, he's trying to get to the outside. He was able to flip-flop there with the 7 ride of Mr. Brett Summers, and he's able to go door to door here with our race leader. 2 by 2 by 2 out here on the speedway. Exactly what we came here for. Some great racing action, a lot of back and forth, and a lot of door to door battling here at the beautiful Daytona International Speedway. And we're quickly clicking these laps off here this evening. Is already 10 laps down here in this one. Is Alan Creasy cheering on Mr. Blankenbeckler out there on the racetrack. Dimitri Curtis coming in, showing the love as well here this afternoon, as Tammy says, woohoo, number 12, cheering on that 12 ride out there on the speedways. Eastman continuing to lead the way. As my boy Dimitri says, woohoo, let's go, Robert McDonald. Thank you, HCK Beagles Racing League and Peacemaker Gaming for having the Juke join and Friends for Pets as co-series sponsors. We're all extremely excited for the season. I plan to be a driver in the next one. Dimitri, we can't wait to get you back out there onto the racetrack, as I'm trying to say that name. Gudio, hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm probably getting it completely wrong. It says, Trench and me, let's get it, Juke Joint Boys. Unfortunately for the Juke Joint Boys, no meet out there on the racetrack. Dimitri not here in this one, but he will be in the next one. We do see Trench out there, though, rolling on the racetrack, as my boy Charlie Dubs Milner coming in says, Dirt Track Junkies to the front. As Aaron Benschneider, Tammy Dyer, Eastman, Alan Creasy, HCK Beagles, Amy S. Turner, William Klein, Tyson Pankow, Dimitri Curtis, Friends for Pets, my boy Bad Brad Racing coming in, all showing the love with those reactions, as you do see K-Dub down onto the apron as we see our first caution flag of the day. So our first caution flag will be displayed here this evening. Unfortunately, looks like Ryan Peterson and a few other drivers potentially getting tied up here in this one and running into some problems out there on the speedway. Let's take a look back and see what happened, as I do believe Ed Koshersberger also getting tied up here, and a few other drivers also unfortunately running into some issues here. Can't see him. There we go. So the 19 ride blinking here quite a bit. That may have been an issue out there for him. As let's take another look here. Ryan Peterson there as well. See Peterson in the 469, but it happens a little farther in front of them. A couple of drivers were headed down pit road. A couple of drivers trying to stay out of the way. Potentially Matt Langley. There we go. That's where we see this starting to happen, starting to unfold here. See if we can get another look at another angle at it, as man, a couple of these drivers having issues trying to get a look at them on the racetrack. I don't know why this camera angle not let me select a different camera angle here, chat. What in the world? Why is it not doing that? I don't understand. There we go. Well, we can see some of these guys a little farther back, but we want a different angle here to see what happened and how this caution flag started, how this got kind of underway here. It's not really giving me a good look at it. I don't know why it's not. Let's go forward. Bear with us here, chat. Bear with us. So, okay, you're going to see Neil Lapidus here. So Neil Lapidus on the outside. Watch this 26 ride. So Lapidus in the green and black 26. He's on the outside lane here. Not sure if he gets a bump. Looks like he maybe just gets a little loose. Comes down the racetrack into the 50 ride as the 50 was coming down the speedway. They get tied together in the OutsockOutdoors.com ride. Goes around the 83 ride. The Dirt Track Junkies machine. Tyson Pankow. That 24 ride of Hines all right there. Same with Trench. Able to just avoid it. But unfortunately, a little farther back here, more drivers getting tied up in it here. More drivers getting bounced into this wreck, trying to stay out of it. Unfortunately, everyone trying to get checked up. Everyone trying to keep themselves out of it. We see a lot of beating and banging, a lot of bouncing around here, and more drivers afterwards getting tied up, including that 19, the Tech Warrior machine. We see the 45 right at Gilbert turned the wrong way. We see the 13 of Kyle Van Tassel tied up in that one. That 469 of Ryan Peterson in there as well. And a few other drivers. Doesn't look like any major damage, but unfortunately for those drivers getting tied up early in this race, as we do see pit stops being completed here. So Kevin Wenker coming down pit road, and he will come out with the race lead as Mark Beverly will come out in second. Brandon Eastman will come out in third as Joshua Ledoux, Josh Ely, Nicholas Snyder, Cal Turbeville, and Haas Beverly are top 8. Stephen Hines back there in ninth with Brian Chu rounding out our top 10 as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here this evening. So we'll get them stacked up, we'll get them racked up, we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments after a quick word here from our sponsors over at Frets for Pets.
For pets! Friends for pets!
Alrighty, shout out there to our sponsors over at Friends for Pets, coming in with that beautiful video right there as Cheryl says, hammer down Howard. Cheering on Howard, says way to stay in it, number 50, keeping himself pretty much out of the trouble right there, not really going around or having too many issues as Kevin Reese says, let's go, Herbert. That was a big break. That caution flag right there for Jonathan Herbert puts him right back into the action. He wasn't too far away from potentially going a lap down and having problems here on the evening. Luckily enough, he was able to keep himself from, having any issues, not going a lap down, keeping himself right in the battle here this afternoon. As we do see Bobby Blair rolling down here onto pit road. Bobby trying to get this car a little bit fixed up here, trying to get some repairs done to that beautiful Ridge Power Sports HCK Beagles KR Gutters ride as he heads down pit side. Nicholas Snyder also down pit side once again, as well as Brent Summers, Chris Gilbert. A bunch of these drivers making some extra pit stops late in this caution flag as we'll get them stacked up, we'll get them racked up, we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here at Daytona International Speedway as our season opener here this evening, the I Love My Wife 65 presented by Jason LaPan, about to go back to green flag here this afternoon. As Kevin Reese says, let's go Peterson, let's go Herbert, cheering on all of those Ridge Power Sports KR Gutter rides here this afternoon. As we'll get them rocking and rolling, we'll get them ready to go back to battle here in this one. Starting to see some of those Dirt Track Junkies rides headed towards the front of the field. As there you go, you're going to see our pace truck pull back down pit road here and unleash this field once again to Kevin Winker. As Winker down through the Geico restart zone, quickly back onto the loud pedal, gets a great start right there. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of help to his back bumper. It's not the restart that beautiful number 38 ride of Joshua Ledoux was looking for. As Ledoux not getting that great restart. He's back in position number 4 now and quickly sliding backwards in that outside lane. Now going to give up on the outside lane. He'll jump down in front of his teammate here, trying to work well together with Josh Ely out there on the speedway. So Josh is squared there in 6th and 7th as they're waiting for Josh Peacock, their other teammate, back here in the 88 ride to come join them up at the front of the field. As the Frets for Pets, the juke joint number 10 ride down to his inside. That is Tim Blankenbeckler back there in that 14th position, and look who's right behind him. The driver who unfortunately missed the start of this race. Had to start down on pit road, had no drafting help, was very much at risk of going a lap down, being the first driver on the season a lap down out there on the speedway. And that caution flag came in at a perfect time as he's right back into the battle, now up in the middle of the pack, right in the battle here towards the front as Herbert sits in 17th. And he's got Frank Ranger Jr. right there behind him. I did see Frank comment over there on the Twitch stream. I appreciate that coming in, showing the love over there on Twitch. Mr. Ranger coming in, showing the love over there in that beautiful Ranger Creative Concepts number 17 ride as Frank rolls back there in that 16th spot. Beautiful looking truck here again on the year for the RCC machine out there on the speedway. The Ranger Creative Concepts ride back there in that 16th, 17th spot, battling with the one of Brad Lane as Lane right there in that mix as well. Same with Derek Rowdy Bucket. Neil Lappin is right back in there as well as that 50 ride of Robert Howard. Howard there in that 20th position as Matt Langley, Ryan Peterson, Edward Koshersberger, Austin Gustafson back there in the 71 ride. The Spotify machine back there in 24th. He's got Brett Summers there to his back bumper. The 34 ride of Zach Michael there in 25th. Nathaniel Ostrowiecki back in 26th with Jacob Grube, Kevin Woody, Jason LaPan himself back there in 30th with Chris Gilbert, Nicholas Snyder, Jeremy Lucy, Kyle Van Tassel back here. Unfortunately, no drafting help right now to the back bumper of that 34 ride. And for Bobby Blair, no help here either for that 75. So again, the Rage Power Sports KR Gutters, the Team HP Motorsports rides, running into some issues here. Right now, they're back in 33rd, 34th, and 35th out there on the speedway, and they really got not a lot of help here. Jeremy Lucy still getting the draft to the back bumper of that 5 right in the tail end of our field, but Kyle Van Tassel now in trouble. No draft out there on the speedway, and he's falling back in a quick hurry. And same with Bobby Blair, who continues to roll back here in that 35th spot on the speedway, and he's now at risk of potentially becoming the next driver. One lap down is out in front. It is that 51. It's Brian Chu who leads the way, but down to his outside, the Frets for Pets, the juke joint, number 31, it's Robert McDonald. McDonald battling right there to his outside as he's got Brandon Eastman to his back bumper. He's moving around, he's shuffling around. Is Eastman gonna get back to the tail end of that beautiful number 31 ride, trying to push that U.S. Navy ride to the front of the field? As Trent trying to work his way to the front here, it's K-Dub right down low here, trying to get that inside lane, continuing to move. Kevin Winker, Mark Beverly, Brandon DeMaine, Joshua Ledoux, Josh Ely, Stephen Hines, our top 10 out there on the speedway. Continue to work on forward as here comes Josh Ely. Ely now trying to make it the Joshua three-way up here at the front of the field inside the top 10 as he joins his teammates here. The triple Josh threat out there on the speedway. We're going to have to come up with a nickname here for that 38, the 83, and the 88 as all teammates, all named Josh, all out there battling together here this afternoon as the Triple J's out there on the speedway battling hard and trying to race their way to the front of the field as Brian Chu leads the way. Chu, we talked about him a lot at the end of last season. Seemed like something really clicked for that 51 ride. He was no longer a part of our playoffs, a part of that championship battle, but this 51 continued to improve week after week after week. Had some absolutely amazing runs, some great finishes there out of that 51 machine, leading a lot of laps, having some good stage wins and finishing the season off on a high note, and here he is in our season opener, showing us that he has been continuing to practice, continuing to improve, and now leading this race. And same with Rob McDonald. Rob had a bit of a rough year, especially at the start of the season last year, and here he is, Trench up there battling door to door with that 51 for the race lead. I think this season is going to be the absolute best season here with the HCK Beagles Truck Series, as we see a ton of new talent out there on the racetrack, a lot of great respectful drivers, and it's going to be a ton of fun to see these guys continue to battle week after week after week, and seeing these cats kind of, moving around, see a lot of different winners. I think we're going to see, potentially a record number amount of winners. Last season, we saw our champion lead for win, I think 6 races, 7 races, something like that for Nicholas Snyder. We saw Snyder win a ton of races. We saw Jacob Grube win a ton of races as well in that Pop Smoke number 18 ride. And for both of those drivers, I think it's going to get tougher and tougher for them here on the year. I think it's going to get very, very tough to try to keep these guys out of victory lane and trying to race their way back into victory lane. I think it's gotten that much tougher, and it's going to be a challenge here for a lot of these guys to win multiple races on the year. As out in front, Brian Chu, Haas Beverly, nose to tail down the inside, as he did see that 42 of Kevin Winker get a good run down low. He quickly jumps up in front of the 31 ride of Robert McDonald. McDonald right there on his back bumper, now going to try to help push that 42 of Kevin Winker up to the front of the field as they go nose to tail, still door to door out there on the racetrack, as you see K-Dub gets that big shove. That Muleburger Customs Homes Sonic Graphic Designs number 42 of Kevin Winker gets a great shove down the back straightaway from Robert McDonald. Quickly jumps down in front of Brian Chu, and he will now be our race leader here in the I Love My Wife 65, powered by HCK Beagles, Friends for Pets, The Juke Joint, and Jason LaPan. Here this afternoon is McDonald again getting to the outside there. The inside lane got a little bit broken up as the 51 gave a bit of a bad shove there to that number 42 of Kevin Winker. Winker was able to hang on to it, still trying to hold that lead down the back straightaway, but right there to his outside, McDonald trying to race his way back to the front of the field. Same with that 12 ride of Brandon Eastman. Eastman would love to jump back out in front and get that Menards ride to the front of the field, as right there down to his inside is the big Haas ride, the Asphalt Outlaws machine, the 22. That is Mark Beverly down there in position number 5 on the racetrack. So Haas Beverly, Mark Beverly right there together, rolling side by side out there on the speedway, trying to race their way to the front of the field here in this one. Some great racing, some great battling here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up here, as we're just about to roll up to our, Justin Toll says, oh, what is this? Justin, what's good, brother? What's good, Mr. Toll? How are you, my boy? Coming in, showing the love here in this one, as Gregory Turner says, make sure you vote for your favorite driver. Give them a shout out or whatever you got to do to give them your vote. Let's see who the viewers want. Okay, they go into a special pool to win some money. Oh, baby. Okay, I didn't know this. I didn't get this information earlier, so this is news to me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys didn't know this already, jump into the comment section right now. If you're cheering on, a team, or if you're cheering on some drivers, jump in there, vote for them, as we see some contact. Up and into the wall goes the 12 ride. The caution flag not back out yet. More contact, more trucks into the outside wall. They're spinning down through the infield. There is the yellow flag. As He's Dead says, where do we vote? Right in the comment section. Over on Facebook, over on YouTube, or even over on Twitch. I'm sure the boys are going to go back through it, make sure that they get all of the comments, as all of them are saved in there, so they can go back and look at the comments again post-race. Make sure you guys jump in that comment section, cheer on your favorite drivers right now. Let us know who you're cheering for, who you want to see not only pick up the win here tonight, but potentially pick up the win for some money here. The special thing here this afternoon, man. I'm intrigued to figure out, you know, really what some of these amazing awards are, what some of these amazing things are on the season, as I didn't know that was a thing, but nonetheless, we're going to see these guys put on a great show, some great racing for us. We're going to go through some of our sponsors here as well as... Okay, so Pop Smoke is our merchandise stop now. Okay, that's good to know. So Pop Smoke, a merchandise stop now. If you guys want any of the HCK Beagles gear, make sure you guys go check out Pop Smoke. I'm not sure, I don't have a link, but if someone has a link for Pop Smoke, make sure you guys jump up and give us a shout out there for them, as our pole award, the Freedom Lawn Care Pole Award, going to that 12 ride here this afternoon. He may want that as our series sponsor, Frets for Pets in the Juke Joint. Our white flag is sponsored by Mule Burger Custom Homes. Our caution flag is the Pop Smoke 22 caution flag. So we do see that Pop Smoke 22 here on this one, as we do have our Hard Charger Award as well, sponsored by Tech Warriors, and our season trophy sponsored by Ranger Creative Concepts, as we see drivers head down pit side making those fuel strategy calls out there on the racetrack. We're going to take a look back though and see what brings out this caution flag. We saw a lot of contact up there at the front of the field, and it was quite a while before we saw this caution flag actually come out, as things were getting a little bit wild here to the outside groove out of corner number 2. I want to say, let's take a look at this 12 rider, Brandon Eastman. Eastman was right there as they were 2 wide, almost 3 wide, as they were rolling around the 75 right. Unfortunately there for that 75, he was going to lap down. I think that just kind of got drivers bent out of shape. The 12 and the 31 of Robert McDonald, they get a little bit squirrely there out of core number 2. The 31, the 22, Haas Beverly, they come together, as we did see, oh man, McDonald up into the outside fence, heavy contact right there. The 12 right, he gets turned. Now everyone's just trying to scatter, trying to avoid contact and trying to stay out of it here. Unfortunately, McDonald comes back up the track, collects the 83 of Josh Ely. Ely cuts back down the racetrack here. This is going to be one of the bigger hits here for him and Royal McDonald, as they both get back into that outside wall. Heavy damage there for both of them. Cal able to just avoid that, as we do see the 88 ride. Oh, stay on all 4, baby. Keep her rolling there. Luckily enough for Josh Peacock, able to keep that thing going, as he gets some pretty good damage here in this one as well, as you see everyone just trying to avoid it. Everyone trying to keep themselves out of trouble. The Frets for Pets number 10 ride, he's flying through the air right there, as we did see the 91. Watch Tyson Pankow. Pankow, I think he sees this one coming from quite a ways away. Pankow in this 91. Watch him roll out there on the speedway. He's going to see this happening. He's going to see it coming, and he quickly jumps down to the apron here, just trying to avoid it. Sees more drivers. He's going to go down through the grass, but luckily enough, does not get collected, does not get hit, and keeps that truck nice and clean and out of trouble there on the speedway. The same cannot be said for the rest of these drivers, as there was a lot of them. There was a lot of cats that unfortunately just had nowhere to go, that got tied up here and ended up with some pretty serious damage out there on the speedway. Let's see if we can see a couple of these other guys that may have gotten collected. See Cal and the 77 of Brandon Ming, they're tied together. Here you see everyone else trying to get through here, trying to keep themselves out of trouble. The 10 ride down the racetrack, the 91, you do see, oh, that's Jonathan Herbert. Herbert getting tied up in another one there in the 87 as he gets turned. Let's play this back and take another look here for John Herbert, as looks like he was trying to get through there. Unfortunately, he goes down onto the apron to avoid it, but trying to avoid the grass here himself. Looks like that Ridge Power Sports KR Gutters 87 in the 17, the Ranger Creative Concepts rider Frank Ranger, they get tied together as they see the 88 and the 10 go down through the infield. The 87 here, ooh, baby, that thing almost went up in airport as well. Unfortunately, heavy contact there to the front and to the back end as he gets turned around there up into the outside fence. Heavy damage there as well for Jonathan Herbert, as a bunch more drivers unfortunately running into problems, getting some contact, and unfortunately getting tied up out there on the speedway, as Again, ladies and gentlemen, there is a special pool going on here for all of these drivers. Each and every one of these drivers has an opportunity to win this special pool. All you're going to do is jump into the comment section and comment their name. Comment their name into the chat right now, or put their first name and their number in there so we know which one is which, to cheer on all these drivers and to see who will win this special pool that is created here. I didn't know there was a special pool that was created for these amazing drivers, so that's an absolute awesome opportunity. All the fans in the stands, if they cheer you on, if they comment your name in the comment section, they could win a little bit of money here this afternoon. Now, I don't know how much it is or anything else, as we do see at least one Robert McDonald comment over there on Facebook there. We do see coming in, says go Brandon Eastman, number 12, cheering on that 12 right there on the racetrack. As we go back to Green Flag Racing, and again, it's K-Dub, Kevin Winker out in front. Winker leading the way here again this afternoon, as he's got a pair of Beverleys right there behind him. As the HCK Beagles, number 3 of Mark Beverly, rolls there in second. It's Hans Beverly back there in position number 3. Brian Chu trying to get that outside roll in here, as he's got Stephen Hines there to his back bumper, trying to get that number 51 back to the front of the field. There you see Tyson Pankow in the JP Designs Bulletproof Motorsports number 91 ride, rolling there in position number 6. Joshua Ledoux back in 7th with Cal Turboville, Brad Lane, Josh Ely, and Rob McDonald all right there ready to pounce, as McDonald was able to get that car repaired and jump back out there on the racetrack. As Doug Crowningshield coming in, showing the love. What's good, Doug? Doug coming in. Drop that like on the stream. How are you, Doug? How you doing this afternoon? As Brandy Wilson says, John Herbert cheered on Herbert here this afternoon. Hey, it's Kev says, working on new ARCA schemes while watching some super speedway racing. Baby, it doesn't get any better than that. Hey, it's Kev. How are you, brother? As KK Harris says, Ledoux cheered on Ledoux out there on the speedway. Shauna says, Kevin Winker, number 42. And Cheryl says, embrace the truck, chase the victory. Howard cheered on Howard out there as hey, it's Kev says, how many leagues you cover? Laugh out loud. Yo, listen, Big Dog Kev, I cover a ton of leagues. I cover a ton of leagues, and there's more to come, brother. I'm busy, but I'm not as busy as what I'd like to be, and trust me, if I could break into some of the European markets as well, start being able to earn and do, 2, 3, 4 broadcasts a day, trust me, I would do it, and I would be able to quit my job and afford to be able to do this full time and be able to just put on some great content, some awesome content each and every single day. It'd be nice to break into that European market and get some early East Coast time broadcasts. And they'd be racing at 7. I could probably go live at like 2. It'd be awesome. Hey, a lot of guys from PSCR. Yes, sir. Yes, sirski. There's a lot out there. Janelle says 469. Peterson cheered up. Peterson out there on the racetrack. Cheryl says Robert Howard, number 50. Let's go. As Big Donnie says Cal Turboville. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Turboville. Hopefully I'm getting that right. Julie Smith says come on Herbert, number 87 for that win. Cheered on K-Dub out there on the speedway. As he's dead, says, well then, let's go. Tim Blankenbeckler cheered on Blankenbeckler out there on the speedway. Clavorn, hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm probably getting it wrong, says Winker Nation cheered on K-Dub out there on the speedways. Right now, K-Dub leading this race. He is out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one, as we are now down 35 laps out of 65, meaning that we're going to hit 30 laps left to go the next time by the start finish line. So 30 laps of racing action left here this evening in our season opener here with the HCK Beagles Truck Series, sponsored by Frets for Pets, Pop Smoke, the amazing Juke Joint here this afternoon in the I Love My Wife 65, presented by Jason LaPan. As these drivers out there on the racetrack continue to battle, continue to duke it out. Here with 30 laps left to go on the afternoon, we're going to jump into a Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite drivers as we'll crank it up here with the HCK Beagles for the first time here on the season. There is our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up caution flag. Without a doubt, we knew it was coming. The curse continues here this afternoon. The curse of the Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up here again on the evening as a couple more drivers tied together down and out of the tri-oval here at Daytona International Speedway. Frank Ranger Jr., Jonathan Herbert, a pair of these drivers that get tied up here in this one. Let's see the contact. Let's see what happens. You do see the 50 ride trying to poke his nose to the outside here as we ride here with the number 17. Oh, we're going a little too quick here. So we do see a little bit squirreliness there out of Frank Ranger getting onto the apron. He comes up into the 87. Hard contact there for both Jonathan Herbert and that 17 of Frank Ranger Jr. And you see everyone trying to avoid him. Everyone trying to get down and out of the way, trying to avoid both these trucks. As let's play it back. Let's get another look at it here. As Frank just going to get down here. Gets a little loose. Comes back down onto the racetrack. Unfortunately, hits that apron. The truck is just bent out of shape there through the tri-oval. As here comes the W Energy Frets for Pets, the juke joint. Number 78 ride just barely able to avoid those guys as they get tied together. Hard contact down here into that inside wall out of the tri-oval. Heavy contact there. Major damage for both drivers. And then you see our last season champion, Nick Snyder right here. Snyder looks like he's going to get a little contact. I'm not sure. That looked like Neil Lapidus here. Looks like Lapidus, unfortunately, going to get into the back end of this 5 ride right here. He's going to make some contact. The OSOCOutdoors.com ride gets into our last season champion. That gets him turned around up into the outside fence. A tough break right there for that 5 ride. As you do see that number 87 rolling back out onto the racetrack right here, John Herbert. And then you see a little contact there. I do believe that is the... I'm not sure who that is, trying to get down and out of the way right there, trying to avoid any major contact here with Jonathan Herbert, as Herbert just trying to get this truck woed up, still strolling down on the racetrack here. And it gets very close as he bounces off this fence back up into the middle of the racetrack. I'm not sure. I think that's Kyle Van Tassel. Nope, not Van Tassel. Who is that gets up there? It's the 20 ride of Jason LaPan. That's who it is. LaPan. New paint scheme here this afternoon. And for Jason LaPan, he was hoping that it would make him a little bit faster right there on the racetrack and able to keep himself out of damage. Unfortunately, he gets tied up in some pretty major contact right there. Just trying to get down and out of the way. Get some rear end damage there. The Tech Warrior ride slams into the 87. A little bit into that outside wall. And unfortunately for both drivers, good contact right there. And unfortunately for a bunch, some tore up race cars here this afternoon. As we will get them stacked up, we will get them racked up, and we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here this afternoon. It is the 42 of K-Dub, Kevin Winker, the Muleburger Custom Homes, Sonic Graphic Designs, the Winker Nation ride out in front leading the way. Mark Beverly, Haas Beverly, Brian Chu, Joshua Ledoux, and the Dirt Track Junkies, number 38 ride, rounding out our top 5. Tyson Pankow back there in the Bulletproof Motorsports JP Designs 91 truck. They're in 6 with Stephen Hines, Josh Ely, Cal Turbovale, and Robert McDonald rounding in our top 10 in the Frets for Pets U.S. Navy juke joint number 31 ride. Our top 10 out there on the racetrack. As Stephen Hines says, love that crank it up. Yes, Sirski, the crank it up, always beautiful. Sonic Graphic Designs coming in, showing the love here in this one as well. How are you, Sonic? Says Kevin Winker, Mark Beverly, Haas Beverly, Brett Summers. Let's go, Monday Nighters. Let's go. Let's get it, baby. We'll see those guys on Monday nights here coming up in a couple weeks with a brand new series, a brand new series getting started here in a couple weeks. And Richard Bradshaw says, cautions are my break to bake. Richard, what are you baking? Are you baking yourself, or are you baking muffins, donuts? What are you baking, brother? Now I'm interested. Either way, either one is good options. You know, baking food or baking yourself. It's always fun. It's always a good time. As Cheryl says, truck racing, power, speed, in the thrill of Daytona. Hashtag number 50. Cheered on that 50 rider, Robert Howard out there on the speedways. Robert rolls back in position number 13, getting ready for this restart. We do see that 10 ride of Tim Blankenbeckler. He's racing his way just on the outside of the top 10, looking in here. He's looking to continue to race his way up towards the front of the field in the juke joint. Friends for Pets number 1 ride. As Richard says, baking myself. Yes, Sirski. Sometimes you gotta, let loose a little bit. Sometimes you gotta do that stuff, I don't do it very often, but I get it. No judgment up in here, brother. It's Peacemaker. It's not Peace Hater up here, brother, and I'm all for it. We're 420 friendly all day long, every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way right on through to Sunday, brother. As we get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, we'll get ready to continue on with our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. As down across the line, as we go back to Green Flag, we will have 25 laps left here in this race. 25 laps for these drivers to make a rebound, race their way back up to the front of the field, get back into the action, and put themselves into position to potentially pick up that checkered flag. Now, we've seen a couple decent-sized wrecks. We've seen a few drivers get pretty tore up out there on the racetrack. When does that big one strike? When do we see the big pile-up here at Daytona International Speedway? It's not about if it's going to happen, it's about when is it going to happen. As we go back to Green Flag Racing, kicked up through the gears, down into corner number 1, leading these drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. look out, there goes Rob McDonald, there goes the 78 ride, more contact, the 50 trying to keep himself out of it as the Pop Smoke 22, number 18 ride of Jacob Brew. Right there, we were right on board with it. We start to see things getting out of control here as the caution flag going to come back out and bring a close to our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here this afternoon. As the caution flag coming back out, a few drivers getting tied up and tore up down the back straightaway here again on the afternoon. Has some issues, some drivers here unfortunately came together. Look like off of corner number 2 down the back straightaway here. It looks like Robert McDonald here in the 31 right now. I'm not sure what happens here to Rob, but he gets a big shove from his French for Pets teammate, and unfortunately that big shove, he gets into the back end of that TRD Pro number 51 of Brian Chu, and just getting kind of squished in between both those drivers, just kind of gets him bent out of shape, sends him down onto the apron. The 24 of Woody gets into the juke joint 78 ride. That's when you see the 78, unfortunately, Matt and Trench, they get tied together here. They get turned around and unfortunately tied together here. More contact as the 31 back up the racetrack here. Everybody trying to avoid him. The 24, the 78, they're turned around, and everyone just trying to do their best to keep themselves out of trouble. You see Tyson Pankow, the 88 rider, Josh Peacock, they're down in through the grass here just quickly. Again, trying to avoid issues, trying to avoid getting themselves tied up into these problems out there on the racetrack. Watch this number 91 right. He gets a little help here as the 70 or the 87 there, John Herbert, actually ends up giving him a huge shot here into the back end. Watch Herbert right here, slams into the back end of that 91. He gets a piece of the 469 Ryan Peterson. Peterson starts to get bounced around right there. He's trying to keep himself out of trouble as he gets turned around. He's trying to keep himself pointed in the right direction. Unfortunately, sliding sideways. See everyone trying to avoid. Trent trying to avoid that 469. Then contact there. Looks like the 13 of Kyle Van Tassel going to get into the back end of Jason LaPan and get up into the outside fence there himself. The 5 right, having to try to dodge those guys, trying to keep himself out of trouble. Let's see if we can jump on board here with the number 5 machine. See if we can see this wreck from his perspective as he was able to just barely navigate his way through that traffic and keep himself out of trouble there on the racetrack as he was hanging back here a little deeper on the field and just trying to keep himself out of all the contact and out of the mayhem that may ensue at the front of the field. He moves up to the middle lane and he blinks there a little bit. Unfortunate break as we won't. Oh, there we go. We see a little bit of it right there as you see him kind of working himself through some of that traffic right there as some of these drivers unfortunately having some of those internet connection issues as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing out there on the speedway is another caution flag. Some more tore up race cars here this afternoon. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't forget, keep on cheering on your drivers here this afternoon. I'm not sure if it's a one vote thing or if you can comment names multiple times here to try and earn them the win here in these points and for that extra money is Michael Dickinson, Papa Mike coming in, showing the love here in this one. How are you, Papa Mike, coming in, dropping that heart reaction. Joshua Neal, Gregory Turner also coming in with those likes over on Facebook. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. It's absolutely free to do. Helps us out a ton here on Peacemaker Gaming. What I need you guys to do right now, if you haven't already, is hit that like button. Hit that like button. Show the love here on the broadcast. Just smash the thumbs up on the stream right now. Whether you're watching over on Facebook or you're watching over on YouTube, hitting that like button, dropping some of these comments, cheering on your favorite drivers not only helps them out, but also helps out the stream as well. The more comments, the more likes, the more that YouTube and Facebook, their algorithms push the streams out to more and more people, more fans in the stands that cheer these drivers on. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go here. 18 laps left to go, 17 as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. And our race leader will be the 64 ride, the Klondike Bar, number 64 of Cal Turbeville. Turbeville out in front, leading the way here this evening. Chris Gilbert there in second with Brad Lane up into third here. He's actually in second. The 45 ride of Gilbert back in position number 3. And then we see the 42 ride. That is Mr. Kevin Winker up in position number 4 to his inside. We're back there in position number 5 is Mark Beverly. Then we see Brian Chu, Haas Beverly, Stephen Hines, Brandon Deming, and Tyson Pankow rounding out our top 10. Brett Summers in the Boston Web Marketing number 7 ride back there in 11th with Tim Blankenbackler back in position number 12. Josh Peacock, the Dirt Track Junkies right there in 14th as the Osaka Outdoors. Fritz for Pets at number 26 of Neil Lapidus there to his inside in 13th. We also see Josh Ely there in the Dirt Track Junkies number 83 ride back in that 15th position with Bobby Blair right behind him. Kevin Woody, Robert McDonald, Joshua Ledoux, Jason LaPan in the 20 ride rounding out our top 20 on the racetrack. Jacob Grube, Jeremy Lucy, Ryan Peterson, Robert Howard, Brandon Eastman, Matt Langley, Zach Michael, Austin Gustafson, Nicholas Snyder, Nathaniel Ostrowiecki, Derek Rowdy Puckett, Frank Ranger Jr., Jonathan Herbert back there in 33rd with Ed Koshersberger. Unfortunately here for Ed, looks like he is back quite a ways here. Not going to catch that tail end of the field. No drafting help out there for that 19 ride. And for Kyle Van Tassel, he is still down pit side. Unfortunately, he's at the tail of this field back in 35th as we are back to Green Flag Racing. The action back underway here this evening, and you see that 42 ride of Kevin Winker getting a big shove down the back straightaway here as he looks for a way around the race line. Number 1 of Brad Lane. Lane trying to keep himself in front here, trying to get that inside lane rolling, but they get a little bit broken up as Chris Gilbert gets a little squirrely there out of corner number 4. But they get things collected, unfortunately not up to speed here, and now we'll see our top 2 jump down to the inside lane. And here you go, it's gonna bring the number 24, Stephen Hines, right there with them as Brian Chu and Stephen Hines push Kevin Winker to the front of the field. As K-Dub out in front, leading the way here, Brad Lane slides back into position number 4. Leaving that outside lane now being led by the green machine. It's Tyson Pankow. Pancake trying to work his way to the front of the field as now we see some moves. Some drivers deciding that they're going to try to make that move to get back to the front of the field as Brad Lane, Chris Gilbert, Cal Turbeville all jump back up to the outside groove right there. Actually, that's the 3 ride of Mark Beverly. Turbeville staying down low. Beverly jumps up with them, and in front of that 91 ride of Tyson Pankow. So Pankow now 4th in line in that outside groove, working well together as they are quickly race their way back up to the outside of Kevin Winker. Kingdom trying to keep that race lead as that inside groove sometimes just so strong, so powerful down through the corners, but the straightaways, that outside lane seems to all of a sudden mount that challenge, pull back up door to door. We'll see if they can continue that trend and see if they can get Brad Lane back to the front of the pack here in this one. Pankow's there trying to help him. That 10 ride of Tim Blankenbacker trying to jump up there and help them, as well as a pair of threesome of the Dirt Track Junkie rides there at the tail end of that outside lane as they're going to shuffle the number 51 ride out and into the middle here. Unfortunately for that Toyota number 51 machine, he's stuck in that middle groove. Really has nothing to do. He's just trying to hang on to it right now, trying to keep himself out of trouble, trying to find a lane. They may be shoving Mark Beverly down and out of the way, as you do see Brett Summers able to jump and slide through that middle, trying to get to the back end of that 91 ride. And Tyson Pankow, he's trying to think here. He may want that 3rd lane to start rolling out there on the racetrack as he gets into the back end here of that 3 machine. The 10 trying to join him, as you do see that 88, the 83, the 38 ride. They jumped into the middle here. Now they're trying to jump up and collect this 91 truck potentially of Mr. Tyson Pankow and see if they can get that 3rd line rolling here this afternoon. And some great racing action, 2 wide, 3 wide racing here at the front of the field, and it is just getting started. Things are just starting to heat up. Drivers starting to feel that pressure now, knowing There's only 13 laps left to go. It's still a lot of time. Still a long time here. You can work yourself from virtually the back of the pack up towards the front of the field if you can make the right moves in a couple laps out there on the racetrack. So you don't have to worry too much here. You can still kind of take it a little bit easy, but you start to feel that pressure, that go time, especially when you start to see that 3-wide racing. When it becomes 3-wide out there on the racetrack, things get a whole lot tougher in a quick hurry. There's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of lanes. You see that 91 right of Tyson Bankow pushing that 3 right of Mark Beverly right to the front of the field here. Beverly now going to be our race leader out on the speedway. He's going to jump down into that middle groove. Look out, the 45 ride getting loose. He gets up into the outside fence. Look out, there goes Brett Summers. There goes Haas Beverly. Turned around in the middle of the racetrack is Neil Lapidus. The 45 right of Chris Gilbert get tied together. Luckily enough, no one else getting tied up here in this one. Looks like everyone able to get their trucks kind of pointed back in the right direction. We did see the 10 ride of Tim Blankenbecker. He gets checked up. We see a couple others getting slow there on the racetrack as the caution flag will come back out here on the speedway, and we'll see a late race caution flag. So a late race caution flag just to mix things up that much more here this evening. Let's see if we can get a look at it and see how this one kind of gets started, how this one kind of gets going out there on the speedway as the 45 ride. You're going to see him here. He's kind of just stuck in the middle of 3 wide. He gets up the racetrack right there. You watch that yellow and black ride. He gets up into the 51, comes back down into the 24. He's trying to get checked back up and trying to get that truck pointed in the right direction. Unfortunately, the 7 rider, Brett Summers, was right there on his back bumper. They make contact. It shoves that 45 up the speedway. Hard contact there for Neil Lapidus. As Lapidus, heavy damage up into the outside fence. And unfortunately there for Haas Beverly, he goes down the racetrack here as he's actually going to make contact with that 7 machine of Brett Summers. Summers just trying to work his way around that 45 ride who's losing control. He gets up into the outside fence. Haas Beverly, the 7, they get tied together. It shoves Haas down the racetrack onto the apron. He shoots back up the speedway, back into that 7 ride of that number. Boston Web Marketing, beautiful number 7 rider Brett Summers. You also see that HCK Beagles, Dirt Track Junkies number 88 ride. Gonna get a little contact there as well. Not too much damage there for Josh Peacock, and he'll be able to keep that truck rolling and keep it out of damage. As you do see the 26 and Neil Lapidus able to just get by that 22 ride. As another caution flag in the big Haas Motorsports 22. Stop there on the back straightaway. Luckily enough, everyone else able to keep themselves out of trouble, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. We do see a bunch of drivers head down pit side, including Neil Lapidus, and a bunch of these other cats headed down pit road looking to get repairs. You do see Brett Summers, Nicholas Snyder. We see Matt Langley down pit side, and the 78 right is the W Energy LLR Juke Joint, the Juke Joint, number 78, right back there at 27th. Robert McDonald, his teammate, back down pit side here as well. Matt Langley, Tim Blankenbeckler, another Friends for Pets Juke Joint ride down pit road, looking to get some repairs, trying to get his car back out there onto the racetrack. The 38 ride of Joshua Ledoux. Looks like Ledoux's now down a few laps on the racetrack here. I'm not sure if Ledoux ended up with some issues here, but an extended time down pit road, or losing connection out there on the racetrack in the 38 ride. It was just up there towards the front of the field. All of a sudden, back in 33rd and a few laps down out there on the speedway. Seems the 50 rider Robert Howard also down pit side. The innovative Physical Therapy Solutions number 50 ride down pit side here. He's been down for an extended period of time. He is multiple laps down here in that 50 machine, so a heartbreaker there for a few of our competitors here in race number 1 this afternoon. As Mark Beverly out in front leading this race, K-Dub Kevin Winker in position number 2 here for the restart as the Juke Joint. What's good? The Juke Joint coming and showing the love over there on Facebook as well. Says, let's go Trench. Cheering on that 31 right. How are you, the Juke Joint? Glad to have you not only up in the comment section and cheering on Trench and all the Friends for Pets and the Juke Joint rides out there on the racetrack, but also coming in and being a part of the HCK Beagles family here for the season as Friends for Pets, the Juke Joint, becoming our main sponsors here of the season, and we appreciate you guys coming in and being a part of something beautiful, something amazing here, and being a part of this season as we'll get them ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to battle here on the evening. Only 9 more laps left to go, and you know what? Let's get a word in here from our amazing sponsors over at Friends for Pets.
Friends for Pets! Friends for Pets!
Alrighty, huge shout out there to one of our series sponsors, Friends for Pets and the Juke Joint here, coming in on the season as we get ready to rock and roll. Gonna be 8 laps left to go here when we go back to Green Flag Racing here in the I Love My Wife 65, presented by Jason LaPan as we get ready to go back to battle here in this one. Todd Lander says, let's go. Number 10, Blankenbeckler, cheering on Blankenbeckler here this evening. Also, Todd coming in with that like on the stream. The Juke Joint says, Friends for Pets, Rad Tunes, and Raccoons. We love it as down through the Geico restart zone. We go back to Green Flag Racing here at Daytona International Speedway. Great racing action already as Mystic coming in, showing the love as well, says, wish I was out there, and cheering on K-Dub, Kevin Winker, and here we go down low. K-Dub getting a great shot from Brad Lane, his lane pushing that 42 right back to the front of the field as they're looking to go door to door down the back straightaway. That is Tyson Pankow in his HCK Beagles. First race here. This is his showcase this afternoon. His rookie race out there on the racetrack for the JP Designs Bulletproof Motorsports number 9 ride in Tyson Pankow right there in position number 4 and looking for more, continuing to push that number 3 machine of Mark Beverly out in front as Beverly looking to hang on to the race lead. It's too close. The call is down across the line. Him and Kevin Winker door to door down in only 7 more laps left to go here in this one. Oh, baby, things are getting spicy. Look out, the 91 right up the racetrack. This is the time to shine for some of these drivers. There's no more saving, no more holding back. If you want to put yourself up and into victory lane or try to get yourself a solid finish, you gotta be on the move to the front of the field right now, as your time is running out in a quick hurry, and your opportunity to maybe race for this win could be going out the window here, but there is always time for that big one to happen as you see all these drivers trying to catch up, trying to join this lead group. When do we see it potentially go to 3 wide? Do we see 3 wide become a thing again here this afternoon? You see the 91 ride. That is Pankow looking to make the move here. He wants to see 3 wide racing out there on the racetrack once again as he jumps to the outside groove. We see that 3 ride just trying to stay rocking and rolling. He gets a little help here, unlike that 91 ride, but contact! Look out! Upside down goes Josh Peacock. Peacock upside down on the back straightaway. Red flag out there on the racetrack. Never mind, no caution flag. There it is. Yes, we do see that caution flag fly. Take a look at the 88 ride. Oh, baby, this is a heartbreaker here for the 88 machine. Where is he on the racetrack here? We're looking for Pankow. Where is Pankow? Not Pankow. This is the 88 ride of Peacock. There he is. There's Josh Peacock. So Peacock up in that outside lane. He's trying to get 3 wide. He wants to join that Dirt Track Junkies teammate of his in the 91 right of Tyson Pankow in that third lane and try to get that rocket and rolling. Unfortunately, coming off the wall, I don't know if he kind of just runs out of room here between him and that 75 right. Is unfortunate break there, as I do believe that is Bobby Blair, who's going to make a little contact here with him. And they're just going to get timed together. Watch this 88 ride. Maybe a little net code right there. Unfortunately, turns that 88 ride down the racetrack. Nowhere to go for the 71 ride as Austin Gustafson gets some big contact. But you watch this 88. The air gets underneath it. Just janks that truck up. He goes upside down the back straightaway here. The 14 ride head-on collision with the roof there of that 88 machine. A very dangerous hit there for Josh Peacock. And this truck just continues to slide. Luckily enough, goes back onto all 4 there. You also see, oh my, I don't even know who that was there, going through the air here as well. There's another driver that ends up going airborne here. I don't know if that was, no, it's not Tim Blankenbeckler, but we do see another driver. Who was that? Let's try to investigate and see here, as I don't see who it is here. There it is. Oh, it's Rob McDonald. Rob going for a wild ride right there. Oh my. He almost goes upside down out there on the racetrack himself as he's trying to get checked up, trying to get woed up here. Goes a little 3-4 wide. Things all of a sudden, oh, we hit the wrong button there. Let's play this back a little bit, get another look at it. As he's trying to split these guys, it's the Friends for Pets 26, and Neil Lapidus, who's trying to get up and out of the way here, back onto the racetrack, ends up clipping his teammate there in the number 31 ride, who goes over the nose of the 17 of Frank Ranger Jr. And watch this truck almost go airborne as well. The air gets up and underneath of it. Luckily enough, that truck stays on all 4 tires and keeps on rolling. Unfortunately, sliding down through the grass, he's going to make some pretty heavy front end contact there with that inside wall. And unfortunately, a couple more drivers tore up out there on the speedways. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. We'll get ready to set these drivers loose and go back to battle here on the afternoon as K-Dub Kevin Winker continuing to lead the way. As my boy Preston Williams, Preston coming in showing the love. He says, let's go Tyson. Cheered on Pankow out there on the speedway. And Preston Williams, Preston coming in showing the love with the 100-star dono here this afternoon. The 100-star dono becoming the big D of the day. The big D of the day going to Preston Williams here in this one. Coming in showing the big love. Dropping the 100-star dono. I appreciate that, brother, showing the love here this afternoon as we'll get these drivers ready to rock and roll, ready to go back to battle. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, again, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today. Become part of the amazing PMG crew here this evening. And if you guys want to help us out here on Peacemaker Gaming, hit that subscribe button over on Facebook or hit that join button over on YouTube. Become part of the exclusive Peacemaker Members Club here this evening. If you guys want to be a part of that Peacemakers Members Club, hit that join button. Become a member right now here this afternoon. There's no better time to become part of the Members Club here on Peacemaker Gaming. As we'll get ready to go back to battle here on the racetrack. Time is running out, and it looks like we're going to see a green-white checkered finish here. When we go back to green flag racing, it is going to be a 2-lap shootout. If we see the caution flag come back out before the checkered flag, or before the white flag, we will rack them up, we will stack them up, and we will do it all over again. So we need to see that white flag flying, or else it is going to go right back to this 2-lap shootout again, and the intensity continuing to build. All these drivers know that this is their last chance, their last opportunity to maybe pick up this checkered flag. And for drivers like Kevin Winker or Mark Beverly or some of these other cats up there inside the top 5 that have been there for quite a while, that have continued to put on a great show here for us up towards the front of the field, Do they have enough? Do they have what it takes to hold some of these cats back there behind them off and keep themselves up inside the top 5 or find their way into victory lane or up onto the podium? Here this evening is Matt coming in, show the love. What's good, Matt? Matt says, well, that was fun. Matt, I hope you had some fun, brother. I hope you had some fun. How are you, mister? Coming in, showing the love here in this one is Mr. Langley. Hopefully, I'm getting that right. I hope that's who that is. Matt Langley coming in, showing the love here in this one. Unfortunately for the Friends for Pets number 78 ride down and off the racetrack as of right now. We did see Tim Blankenbeckler also getting some pretty good damage, and he's unfortunately fallen a lap down out there on the speedway. So a tough break there for the Friends for Pets, the juke joint number 10 machine, as he rolls back in the 31st position. As we'll get ready to go back to battle here, it's K-Dub Kevin Winker who will see that green flag fly as potentially our final restart of the day as a green-white checkered here to finish off our opening race of the season. Our opening race here on the season with the HCK Beagles, the Friends for Pets, the juke joints here this afternoon in the I Love My Wife 65, sponsored by LaPan here this evening as door-to-door down the back straightaway. Kevin Winker, Brad Lane right there, door-to-door down into corner number 3. Everyone trying to make it back to the white flag, hoping to see this as the last restart of the evening as K-Dub Kevin Winker out in front here through corner number 4. Down the front straightaway towards our triangle, getting a little squirrely back there behind him, but down across the line, we will see that white flag fly. So our Muleburger Custom Homes white flag is displayed as Mark Beverly. No, that's Haas Beverly in the background going around. Haas Beverly right there going around is Mark Beverly on the back bumper here of the Muleburger Custom Homes number 42 rider Kevin Winker out in front. The outside lane getting a little squirrely as Brad Lane trying to get that big shove from the 51 ride of Brian Chu. Chu has been right there inside the top 5 pretty much all evening long. Here comes Stephen Hines. Here comes that 77 of Brandon Domingue. Door to door for the final time down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. Who will make the move? Where's it going to happen? There's some contact. Look out. Our race leader's going around. Upside down goes Kevin Winker and across the line. I don't know who won it. I don't know who got it as a big wreck down here across the line at Daytona International Speedway for our series opener. And it looks to be the Dirt Track Junkies number 91 ride, tore up and destroyed down here through corner number 1. It's Tyson Pankow who picks up the checkered flag and wins this race as Chaos out of corner number 4 here in the HCK Beagles season opener. Let's take a look back and see how this one got played out as things were getting wild. And our race leaders get tied together and they go around down only a couple hundred meters away from our start finish line. Let's take a look at it. Watch the one right up and into the outside fence, down across the nose. Here of the 51 of Brian Chu. They come down the racetrack. They collect Kevin Winker. They collect that 3 ride. Look at the 51 upside down. There goes Kevin Winker as well. Everyone sliding through there. Look at the 91 ride right here, down through the grass and across the line, door to door by inches, picking up the win over Jacob Grube. As down you see the 42 of Kevin Winker upside down into the catch fence. The 45 ride of Chris Gilbert, he's upside down. They continue to wreck down across the line and through the tri-oval in what was an absolutely insane finish here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, there you go. That's what everybody came here to see. The excitement, the action, the non-stop amazing finishes here in the HCK Beagles is back, baby. As they are back, and the wild racing is going to continue. You still see them wrecking here down into corner number 1 as everyone getting piled in there. Everyone trying to find their way into victory lane, but only one driver can get it done, and it's Tyson Pankow. Let's take another look at it. Here comes Pankow. He's back right now in the 7th position. Actually, he's in the 9th position here on that inside lane. You see that contact. The driver's in front of him going around. He's trying to keep himself up here above the double yellow line, and then watch the contact right there from the 14 ride. Hooks him, turns him down in underneath the 51 ride of Brian Chu. And somehow or another, down across the line, he's going to pick up this checkered flag. Somehow he gets it done. He finds himself into victory lane here this afternoon. Let's see if we can get a look at this photo finish right here. Let's see if we can get a look at this, ladies and gentlemen, and see the craziness that's unfolding down across the line here at Daytona International Speedway. That's our finish. Look at the scenery. Kevin Winker upside down. The 51 ride upside down going airborne. That's the 34 machine of Zach Michael upside down before the start finish line. How many drivers finish this race backwards, upside down, spinning sideways down here across the start finish line? But it comes down to a battle through the infield to figure out who our race winner is going to be. Door to door, it's Tyson Pankow and Jacob Grube right here in the Pump Smoke number 18 machine. Down across the line, and it's Tyson Pankow who picks up the win in what was an absolutely crazy finish here this evening, man. We could watch this finish over and over and over again, as it was absolutely wild, absolutely crazy here to finish this race. Let's take another look at it here. Contact to the outside, down the racetrack, collects all of our race leaders here. Our top 5, most of our top 10, all getting tore up in this one, as chaos down here through the tri-oval and across our checkered flag this afternoon, man. Absolutely insane. You can't make it up. As Tyson Pankow able to get it done here, he's celebrating down on the front straightaway here at Daytona International Speedway. There you see that JP Designs Bulletproof Motorsports Dirt Track Junkies number 91 ride is Tyson Pankow. Down on the inside as Josh Ledoux says, great win for the Dirt Track Junkies Motorsports here this evening. He's dead, says, what the heck? Tower Operator says, wow. Wow is right. KK Harris says, GG. Steven Hines says, come on, Hines. Hines was right there. He ends up coming home in position number 4. A great finish there for that number 24 ride, even though he was tied up and tore up there in that final lap carnage. As Kevin Reese says, great jump tonight, boys. Great jump, great racing, man. Really not a ton of caution flags, but some craziness here each and every one of these laps. As Jonathan coming in says, congratulations to Dirt Track Junkies on their first league win. Let's get it, baby. The big checker flags right there for the Dirt Track Junkies crew. As Tim Lander says, good job, Tim, on your first race. Great job for all these drivers. Their first races as a Star Party Challenge has been activated. What in the world is going on? Is Tammy Dyer Eastman coming in? New star sender with the 99 star bomb in here in this one. And my boy Will Klein, Mr. Klein coming in, setting it off as well with the 99 stars. He called it. He says, come on, Tyson. Those 99 stars, they may have been what put that number 91 of Tyson Pankow up and into victory lane here this evening. As Amy Turner says, what a race. What a race is right. What a crazy finish here in this one is the Star Party Challenge. Here this afternoon is my boy Charlie Tubbs Milner coming in, setting it off as well with that 50-star dono here in this one. Chat, I don't know if that overlay's been up there for very long, and if you guys haven't been able to see all these crazy finishes, but we're going to go back and take another look at it before we pull our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth here. Watch Tyson Pankow in this 91 ride right here down. Everyone's wrecking in front of him. Everyone's tied up in it. Trunks are upside down, flying through the sky and down through the grass. He's able to make the pass here after getting hit into the grass here. It's the 14 ride and the Nathaniel Ostrowiecki who bumps that number 91 down into the grass, and then him in the 18 of Jacob Grube tied together door to door down across the line as chaos up there to their outside, down to their inside, all around them. It's chaos. It's Tyson Pankow who's able to pick up that dub here this evening. As what in the world is going on? Josh Mother Fluffin Peacock, are you kidding me? Josh Peacock coming in with a huge love with the 2,000 star dono. Says, let's go, baby. Let's go. My boy Josh setting it off here in this one. A little skibbity-doo right there. Coming in with a big love here in this one. Dropping an insane, absolutely insane amount of stars. 2,000 star dono coming in from my boy Josh Peacock. Charlie says, we already chugging beers at the DTJ camp, the Dirt Track Junkies camp here this afternoon. We love it. I love to see it. That's absolutely amazing. Crush some beers for me, fellas, as we get ready to pull in our race winner, Tyson Pankow. Hey, Tyson, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Take it a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Tyson, man, what a finish. What a run. Take us back through this one and how you were able to get the win here this afternoon. Is chaos down and out of quarter number 4. You get shoved down through the grass. There's trucks flipping everywhere. It looks like a war zone down there through the tri-oval of Daytona International Speedway. You're beaten door to door with Jacob Grube down through that grass, and somehow or another, you two are battling for the race lead, and you're able to get out in front and pick up the dub here in our season opener with the HCK Beagles here this evening as you win the I Love My Wife 65.
I do love my wife. No, it was, listen, I was happy to finish 12th or 11th or wherever I was running. It all happened in front of me, and I got sent to the grass, and it's like, well, there's no one in front of me, and someone's going to come from the top or the bottom and hit me, so I might as well just stay in it. And I think Jacob was beside me, so he must have been keeping me half straight. So I don't know. It worked out. It was wild. I joined the league an hour before it started, and I was just looking for something to do, here and there. But now I guess with their point system and everything, I guess I made the playoff system, so I guess we're here every Tuesday night now.
Absolutely. Well, you're locked in. You gotta be here now. You gotta keep on representing that beautiful JP Designs 91 right out there on the racetrack, man, as it was looking good all evening. We saw you battling your way up towards the front of the field, up through the top 10 there quite a bit here this afternoon, avoiding a few of those wrecks down the back straightaway. We saw you quickly making the decisions to, jump down towards the infield, go right through the grass, and just, trying to escape some of the carnage that we saw throughout this race. And it all pays off as you're able to have a good truck left late in this race, be in the best position out there on the racetrack, as you're able to get that lucky tap in the back end, puts you right underneath that 51 ride of Brian Chu, and all of a sudden you drive home to victory lane.
Yeah, I got hooked up with Mark. I don't even know Mark's last name. I got hooked up with him. We were 3 wide on the outside, and we really started to get it lined up and get going, and the caution came out, and when we went back green, like, okay, I'm just gonna push him. I do better as I'm pushing. Once I get it figured out, and I'll finish 2nd, 3rd, 4th maybe. And then after we went back green, I got shuffled out. I got too complacent and got a little high, and they got around me, and it's like, well, okay, I'll top 10. I might be able to do a top 10, and yeah, I don't know. I saved it in the grass earlier in the race, and then I won in the grass. So I guess it's better to be lucky than good any day of the week.
Absolutely, and sometimes that's what you need here at Daytona. You need to try and be a little lucky, and for, 8, 9 cars that were in front of you down at corner number 4, no luck for them. A lot of luck for you as you're able to get it done and pick up the season opening win here with the HCK Beagles in the I Love My Wife 65. Tyson, who would you like to thank for such a great run, such a great drive, and a big victory here this evening?
I got to thank DTJ, Dirt Track Junkies. They picked me up about 5 minutes before the race started, and the 3 Joshes and Tubbs, and hell, it's a good group, and the league seems like it's a really good league, and I want to thank them for putting all this on. It's a big operation. 09 Laser Engravings, look up Josh Ely, he does really good work. Dirt Track Junkie Speed Shop, Tubbs and the 3 Joshes, they took me in, and we're doing some amazing stuff, and probably have a new paint on the car next week, and we're gonna see what we can do.
Absolutely, brother. Well, if it's anything like we saw here tonight, it's going to be another wild one, especially here at the end, as we knew it was going to get pretty crazy with that green-white checkered. Obviously, everyone trying to push their way, trying to get to the front of the field here. It looked like it was going to be a nice, easy, door-to-door battle back to the line, but those final 200, 300, 400 meters all of a sudden really mixed up this race and made it a absolutely wild finish here, and a big day for you in the Dirt Track Junkies team, as you guys are able to pick up the first league win here for the Dirt Track Junkies and putting your 91 truck up here into victory lane. Tyson, congratulations on getting it done. Congratulations on the win here this evening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the broadcast as well.
Absolutely, brother. No better place to be than up here in the broadcast booth watching you guys duke it out there on the racetrack. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Tyson Pankow, as Pankow picks up the dub and puts that 91 up into the Daytona Speedway victory lane here in the HCK Beagles Frets for Pets, the Juke Joint Truck Series here this afternoon in the I Love My Wife 65, presented by Jason LaPan. Excuse me, sorry about that. As we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher here this evening. Our second place driver, no, we talked about him earlier here in the afternoon. Talked about how it's going to be tough for him and a couple of these other drivers that we saw last season and seasons prior to be able to find their way into victory lane. Well, Jacob Group, he almost found his way into this one from pretty far back there out of core number 4. He pulls himself up and into position number 2 as my boy Josh Ely coming in, setting it off here. A little skibbity-doo right there, as well as he comes in with a 490 star dono here himself. He says, "Let's go, Dirt Track Junkies," as we get ready to pull in our second place driver, as Charlie Tubbs Milner, my boy Charlie, coming in, setting it off again with the 91 stars. 91 stars for the 91 truck of Tyson Pankow. We love to see it. We love to see it. You know what? We might better throw a 0 at the end of Tyson's new paint scheme there. No, I'm just kidding. Just for the future. Just for the future, in case that happens again. No, I'm messing with you. As Brandon Eastman, what's good, Eastman? Brandon coming in, dropping that like on the stream. My boy Josh Ledoux coming in as well, showing the big love, becoming a brand new follower over there on Facebook, and coming in with that share on the broadcast. I appreciate that, my boy, showing the love here on this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do that. Hit the like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as Josh showing the love over there on YouTube as well. Cheryl says congrats to the 64s. We'll pull Callan for his third place finish here this evening. Kevin Reed says great racing, Ridge Motorsports KR Gutters team. Jonathan Herbert, Ryan Peterson, Bobby Blair, Kevin Van Tassel, Jeremy Lucy, KR Gutters and Ridge Motorsports here this evening. These guys did a great job. Great racing. As Cheryl says, wild ride. A lot of wild rides right there. As Robert Howard says, what a race. Tough finish for the 50 ride. Tough finish there for the 50 ride. But man, it was good to see you out there on the racetrack, Mr. Howard. As we'll pull in our second place driver, Jacob Group, waiting down pit side. Let's get him up here into the booth. Hey, Jacob, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Taking a copy?
Got you loud and clear, Aaron.
Jacob, man, a great run, a solid drive here for you all afternoon. We saw you get tied up there a little bit in that final couple laps, trying to race your way up towards the front of the field. A little contact there, a couple hundred meters from that start-finish line as chaos ensuing in front of you. Everyone trying to get either checked up or trying to avoid it here, and all of a sudden you come down through the grass there, door-to-door with Tyson Pankow, just trying to survive the carnage there at the end of this race, and all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys realized or not, but that was the battle for the race win. As you two were door to door, and unfortunately for yourself, only a couple feet shy of picking up the dub here yourself. As early in this race, we talked about how many new drivers we have, how the competition has gotten that much better and that much tougher here, and it's going to be tough for yourself and another driver like the 5 ride to be able to try to find their way into victory lane here this season and trying to pick up these dubs, trying to pick up these wins. I figured it was going to be very tough for you and Nicholas Snyder and so many of our other competitors from last season and previous seasons to get it done, but here you are, almost picking up the dub, almost putting yourself up into victory lane as you were right there, almost in the best place possible late in this race. It had to take chaos, had to take carnage there to put you into that position, but nonetheless, you come up only a couple feet shy of the checkered flag, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind as you sit down there on the podium.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Yeah, not too much to say about the race, really. It's just I just dodged the wreck, and that's where I ended up. I could have been in it just as easy, so that's just where I ended up. So it was fun. I'm glad to be kicking off the season again. Looking forward to the races that we have to come, and all the drivers that have come out to make it like a pretty full field. So I'm looking forward to what the rest of the season holds.
Yeah, rest of the season, if it plays out like it did here in this one, it's going to be absolutely wild. It's going to create for some amazing racing action week after week after week. And you're off to another hot start. We know it was, fairly disappointing for you late in the season last year, obviously missing that first of 2 races for that championship. But coming right back out, trying to get right back into victory lane. You come up 1 spot shy, but you park it up in second. And it's got to feel pretty good knowing that you're trying to battle back into that championship 5 and trying to go after another, trying to get that championship here this year.
Yeah, sure. It's what's all about, the big picture. And because of that, I was going to be happy to finish right where I was, running about 13th, but just got lucky there.
Well, hey, sometimes it takes a little bit of luck to be good here at Daytona. And we saw that for not only yourself, but also Tyson Pankow, our race winner, here this evening as Jacob, you park it up in position number 2 here this afternoon, man. Who'd you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, I want to thank our new sponsors that we got coming on board. This week I'm sporting the Pop Smoke truck. They make custom apparel, so if you guys need anything like that, reach out to them. And then also Tech Warrior for all your computer needs. So if you need computers or help with your bugs that you're having or anything like that, you can hit those guys up. So thanks to those guys for coming on board and supporting what we do. And thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Jacob, great to see you back out there on the racetrack. Great to have you right back up here in the broadcast booth, and we can't wait to see you back out in action a couple weeks from now as I'll be off here, and I believe that the series is going to take this second week as a break, as I had a prior agreement for a special event here next Tuesday. So we'll see you guys back in action in 2 weeks' time, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth, maybe 1 spot better and up in victory lane yourself.
All right. Thanks, Aaron.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Jacob Grube. Grube coming home there in position number 2 as we'll get ready to pull in our 3rd place driver, the 64 ride, the Klondike machine of Cal Turbeville. Turbeville coming home in position number 3 here this evening. Let's go back and take a look and see where this 64 ride was rolling out there on the racetrack. So he was in the outside lane here, 4th car in that outside groove. Looking fairly good, looking fairly strong out there on the speedway. He was in a decent position, trying to race his way up for potentially a race win here this evening. Kind of just getting settled in right there, and all of a sudden, chaos ensues. He gets tied up in it. He's getting bounced around. Luckily enough, he's in that outside lane, able to finally see the door open right there, and just by a couple inches, able to jump up into position number 3 here this evening. As chaos ensues back there behind him, everyone flipping, crashing up into the fence. Carnage ensuing here for all these other drivers, and somehow Cal's able to get through there fairly unscathed. Not a whole lot of damage there to the truck until the 26 comes in and takes the front end out right there ever so slightly. But Cal able to come home in third right there. A pretty crazy finish there for that 64 ride as we get ready to pull him up here into the broadcast booth himself. Hey, Cal, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah, man, that was a heck of a run, heck of a drive there for you. All night long, we saw you battling up inside the top 15, top 10 there, and for a little while up inside the top 5 as well. And then late in this race, you're kind of settled in, rolling back there at about the 8th position, 4th car in line to the outside, knowing that, you needed someone in front of you to make a move and someone to kind of go with to maybe gain a couple extra spots. And all of a sudden you see that chaos right over your windshield and see you get tied up in it, and somehow or another you're able to just keep your foot in the throttle, keep that truck rolling there, and you come across the line in position number 3 here this afternoon, man. Take us back through this race, through that carnage, and what's going through your mind right now as you sit up here on the podium.
Well, I'm just glad I made it stick there at the end. But the race, I didn't really have a plan as to what to do. This is the first time I've run with them in quite a while, so I just kind of wanted to see what was going to happen. We was about halfway through the race though, and I thought about it and realized I get a point for leading the race. So I was like, I might better go get that. So I got up to the front best I could and just kind of decided to get that and just ride up there, and it worked out. Cautions. There was a wreck right in front of me. I felt like the greatest driver alive for a second whenever I saw it and dodged it. But managed to stay up there, didn't fall back again, and there then I saw everybody wrecking, so I just stayed in and plowed into the straightest truck I saw and made it through it.
Absolutely. Well, you made it through it, and you come out in a fairly decent position here, being able to round out the podium, have yourself up here inside the top 3 to finish off this evening, man. It's got to feel pretty dang good as you come home there in that 3rd spot. Who'd you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
First and foremost, I want to thank the good Lord. I want to thank my mama and my daddy, all my friends for watching. Want to thank HCK for inviting me along for another season. They done a good job with me in the past, and I'm glad to be back. Glad to have you up there announcing. First time hearing you, and I'm loving it so far, man. Keep up the good work.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Cal, a great run, a great drive here this evening. You parked that 64 ride up and into the podium here, and hopefully many more trips for you up here into the broadcast booth throughout the season. Maybe, a win or two in the future for yourself here in the HCK Beagles Truck Series. Cal, congrats on that 3rd place run, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here next Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Plan on it.
Beauty. Enjoy the rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place driver, Cal Turbeville, as he comes home in position number 3 here this evening. Man, some great racing, some great action out there on the speedway. A lot of battling there. 2 wide, 3 wide action here at Daytona International Speedway. It comes down to a green-white checkered finish where we see chaos unfold late in this race, and somehow or another drivers able to navigate their way through the carnage. Drivers finishing upside down, backwards, flying through the air like Kevin Winker and Chris Gilbert and some of these other drivers that were upside down across the line as well. One of those drivers that ended up with some tough luck there late in the race was Brad Lane. Brad Lane and the 51 ride both ended up with some pretty tough luck here in this race at the end here, as Brad, he's leading that outside groove. He's trying to win this race. Unfortunately, bad push, bad block by him right there, and from the 51 of Brian Chu, they get tied together, and that's what starts this chaos down here through the tri-oval. You see the 42 ride jump up into the air. He's starting to go airborne, then everyone else piling in here. You see Kevin Winker upside down, Brad Lane. You see the 51 of Brian Chu. He goes airborne there down through the infield, the 469 ride, and then everyone else tied up in this one. You see Ryan Peterson. He's going for a wild ride. The 34 ride, a wild ride. We see so many other drivers going upside down and going for a crazy flip here at the end. You do see Kevin Winker. was leading this race down to the white flag. Winker was leading us out at corner number 4 here in this 42 ride. He was trying to pick up the win, but the contact there to the outside lane comes down and collects him, and this is how his night comes to a close here. His night unfortunately comes to a close. He's upside down. He's sliding there on the racetrack. He's still tied together, parked inside the 24 ride. The 3 ride still airborne, then goes upside down and sideways down across the line. The 45 ride, he goes upside down. You watch Kevin Winker after the checker flag up and into the catch fence. You see the 45 ride up and into the fence. The 24 ride flying through there. Same with the 8 ride and so many other drivers. You do see Ryan Peterson up on 2 wheels. He's going for a ride. Everyone else getting tied together and having some issues here late in this race. Down across the line, down across the checkered flag here this evening for what was an absolutely wild finish. A wild way to finish off this first race of the season, and it's only going to get better and more crazy here week after week after week as we're going to get ready to pull in potentially Kevin Winker here. If he's still in the Discord, I want to see if we can pull Winker in. I don't know if he wanted to. Oh no, they're going through the race right now. They're actually watching some of the replays and watching some of this stuff, so I don't want to pull K-Dub in and ruin him from that. So they're kind of going through that stuff right now. So we're not going to pull him in, but we are going to call it a night there on that note. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here all evening long, man. What a run, what a race, what a finish here this afternoon. And the I Love My Wife 65 presented by Jason LaPan, man, that was a lot of fun. That was so much fun. It's Charlie says, what a show. Josh says, this was fun. This was fun. This was a heck of a show, heck of a race. And I can't thank all these drivers for jumping out there, becoming part or being a part again this season of the HCK Beagles, the Frets for Pets, the Juke Joint Truck Series here this season. We can't thank all of our amazing sponsors, all the amazing drivers, and all of you amazing fans of the stands for tuning in and cheering these guys on. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, man. I appreciate each and every single one of you coming in, showing the big love here this evening, and to all the amazing star senders, all the new supporters or members over there on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube. I appreciate each and every single one of you coming in, showing the love here in this one. And I can't wait to see these guys back in action. As I said, we are actually not back here next Tuesday with the HCK Beagles, so we're going to have a off week here next week. I had a prior commitment to do a specialty event for the St. Patrick's Day special event for some dirt track racing next Tuesday. So we'll be up in the booth doing that. These guys will be off, and we'll be coming back for race number 2 here in 2 weeks for the HCK Beagles. That's where the action will get picked up. Then we're back with them for pretty much every single Tuesday until, I don't even know, halfway through the year, 3/4 of the way through the year. We're probably going to see our championship be down somewhere in September, maybe September, October, somewhere in there. It's a long season, a lot of racing, a lot of action. As Claire Bradford coming in as well, showing the love over there on Facebook with the like on the stream. Complete graphics coming in with that thumbs up, as well as ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's not too late. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today, as we're going to call on that note. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace and love, baby. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen.
For pets! Friends for pets!
Trucks flying through the night, NASCAR dreams within our sight. Asphalt heroes in the fight, peacemakers gaining light so bright. Revving it up, feel the pace, speed hounds in the race. Feel the thrill, feel the chase, victory is our holy place. Throttle down, no time NASCAR dreams within our sight. Asphalt heroes in the fight. Peacemakers gaming life so bright. Rev it up, feel the pace. Speed hounds in the race. Feel the thrill, feel the chase. Victory is our only place. Thrill the place. Thrill the place. Throttle down, no time to waste. In this high octane haste. Feel the thrill, feel the chase. Victory is our only place. Throttle down, no time to waste. In this high octane haste. Every corner, every taste leads us closer to first place. Throttle down, no time to waste. In this high octane haste. In this high octane haste. Every corner, every taste leads us closer to first place. Under lights the engine scream. This is more than just a dream. Through the asphalt like a beam. Racers' hearts with fervor gleam. In this game we find our might. Push the pedal like the night. With each lap our spirits flight. Racing on with all our might.